We've got our first indication of just how rough the primary election season may end up being. Plus, long lines at the airports and a major reorganization with Vandalia Health. It's MetroNews Talkline. We're ready to go.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded.
We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set line up link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson in Morgantown. TJ Meadows is in Charleston. Our phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can text the show at 304-TALK-304. Zach Karolchek is our video producer. If you're watching on the MetroNews TV app, Facebook, or YouTube, Ethan Collins handles the audio side of things for our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. Coming up later this hour, we'll talk to retired Colonel Burner Dunn. Drones over at Louisiana. Yes, the drones are back. Plus, Marshall Athletics Director Gerald Harrison will join us this hour. Coming up, second hour of the show, Jeff Jenkins will stop by. The latest on a major shakeup in the structure of Vandalia Health. And we'll talk to Dominique Ranieri, the director at Yeager Airport, as the TSA lines continue at the major airports. What's the impact locally? We'll get the latest from Dominique coming up next hour. Good morning, TJ.
Good morning. This drone thing concerns me. Maybe I'm the only one, but it concerns me.
Well, we had the drones over New Jersey, and then they just weren't there. And then these were actually over Barksdale Air Force Base, which is a major installation down in Louisiana. So we'll get into
multiple days. Yeah, it's concerning.
We'll get into that coming up bottom of the hour. I'm just saying, aliens. Just throwing it out there as a possibility.
Oh, man.
But first, we begin. The primary election in West Virginia comes up the second Tuesday in May. So we've got a little over a month, about 2 months to go until the election. We knew this was going to be quite the fight, especially on the right side of the ballot amongst the at least two factions in the West Virginia Republican Party. Well, a political action committee that's associated with Senate President Randy Smith has produced a political message against rival member in the Senate in the Republican majority, Tom Takubo. Mountaineer Conservative Coalition, Inc., a nonprofit political action committee incorporated in Delaware, has distributed the advertisement against Takubo. Now, the organization has been described in fundraising materials as a leadership PAC representing Smith's political interests. The advertisement against Takubo focuses on a bill that passed the state legislature in 2021, the Save Women's Sports Act. The policy, signed into law, requires public schools and college athletic teams to be designated based on biological sex. Now, the advertisement against Takubo features Paula Scanlon, a former University of Pennsylvania swimmer who competed against Leah Thomas, the first transgender athlete to win a Division I championship. Now, Scanlon has frequently spoken out against her experiences. Let's go ahead and play the ad so you can hear it and see it yourself. You ready, Zach? Let's go ahead and play the advertisement that this PAC is running.
You work so hard, you train, you get up early, you sacrifice time with friends and other things that you want to do, and then you're forced to compete against a man. It's not fair. Using the same locker rooms, it's not safe. Takubo voted to allow men to play against women. It's not fair. It's common sense, but not for Tom Takubo. Tom Takubo betrayed our daughters and made athletes like me less safe. Tell Tom Takubo to stop endangering West Virginia girls.
Now, that is the advertisement that has been sent out by the Mountaineer Conservative Coalition. Now, let's go back to a couple of assertions within that ad that Takubo is for men in women's sports and that he's betrayed women and girls in West Virginia. Let's go back to 2021 and what Takubo actually said on the Senate floor while debating the Save Women's Sports Act in 2021. Here's Tom Takubo.
Do I 100% firmly believe that boys should play boys sports and girls should play? Absolutely. Now, to be honest, I really have no issue with a girl playing a boys sport because, again, the body mass issue is not there. If you've got the athletic ability for a girl to play boys baseball, or I really wouldn't have any issue with that. But the fact of the matter is, the Masters tournament is on. The top female golfer, I remember just a few years ago, tried to play against the guys in the tournament, got killed, and she was like the number one women's golfer 8 or 9 years in a row. So there's a clear difference, and so that's what the bill does.
And Takubo clearly explains his trepidation for the bill at the time and why.
And so as a senator, do I look at this section of the bill and say, could that cause some major problems? I could see somebody trying to pull us out as an example, and come football season for W and Marshall and all the college athletes in our state that are trying to move forward, that this could create some major hiccups again for a problem we really don't have. And so I can also see us coming back here and having to try to unwind all this in some kind of special session or something. So for that reason, I am going to be a no vote. But I want to make it very clear that the principle of the bill, I'm 100% in favor of. I just think we should have left it to the high school athletics alone if a bill was going to be ran.
Now, the organization behind the ad, Mountaineer Conservative Coalition, was incorporated last June and put out calls to raise funds for the following month. Fundraiser Morgantown asked for a $25,000 donation. Fundraiser organizers, particularly the West Virginia Coal Association, expressed appreciation for the positions that Smith, a former coal miner, had taken in support of the industry. Long setup there, but now you've got the background. And Mr. Meadows, your thoughts?
Anyone who has listened to that ad needs to go to the state legislature's website, pull up the archived audio where we got those clips of Takubo. He made those comments, Dave, April the 8th, 2021 at 1:54 p.m. in the afternoon. Listen to the entire thing. Takubo was clear. He does not believe that biological males should be playing girls' sports. He also correctly points out we can't regulate the NCAA here. That's interstate commerce. That's a federal matter. It is. We can't do anything. So what he was saying was keep this bill to what we can control. Keep it to high school sports. Don't include the NC2A, or else we could find ourselves in legal water and have to come back, unwind it, et cetera, et cetera. The problem isn't the vote that Takubo made. The problem is the distortion in that ad of why that vote happened. This is politics of the dirtiest kind. It's an attack ad that takes a recorded vote, strips away any context, and replaces it with a false narrative, plain and simple. This UPenn swimmer likely never met Tom Takubo, likely has never talked to Tom Takubo. I would bet hasn't seen the video footage or the audio that we just played. She's being told what Takubo did, probably incorrectly, and is probably being paid for her performance in the ad. I don't know that to be a fact, but I think it's logical to assume. This entire ad should have Randy Smith's name on it if he truly believes what the ad says. And instead, it has some obscure leadership PAC that is based in Delaware for no other reason than to try to obscure who is behind the message. It's a sad day.
This is the dirty side of politics that I will never get accustomed to. And that you can call me naive, you can call me blissfully ignorant. I still believe you should be able to beat your opponent based on ideas and policy and debate, not dirty, underhanded politics. Did Takubo vote that way? Yes, his vote's on record. But he clearly states his reasoning behind it, and that is clearly distorted in this ad. And as you point out, Paula Scanlon has gone out in media, social media, fighting for something she truly believes in, based off experiences she had in college, and fighting for something that's right, by the way, that is absolutely worth fighting for.
Yes.
And the PAC is taking advantage of her passion and of her convictions to push a distorted and misrepresented political narrative here. As you said, she's never met Tom Takubo. She has no idea what that debate was about in 2021 or what the discussion was or what Takubo said. She's been given a script, likely compensated for her time to be in this ad. All she knows is that there's this guy who voted against this bill. This is something that I believe very strongly in. You're taking advantage of her. You're misrepresenting the situation to this person in particular. You're misrepresenting what Takubo said. And quite frankly, if I am an astute voter and I'm paying attention, why would I support your candidates if you're misrepresenting what this guy is saying? How do I know you're not misrepresenting what your candidates are saying in the positive way to skew the narrative your direction? Dirty side of politics that I don't like, that I know is a reality, but I don't care for.
Spot on. I do think it's fair to examine, how do we know that this is Randy Smith's PAC? Because if you go to the state of Delaware, their website, and search for this incorporated PAC, you will find various information. You have to pay for more information. Even if you do, it doesn't list any of the incorporators, et cetera, et cetera. You have to send away for a full list of records, and that's been done. So when that comes back, I look forward to looking at that. But how do we know that it's tied to Smith? Well, Brad's reporting points out that $25,000 per plate fundraiser that happened last July in Morgantown. It was hosted by the Mountaineer Conservative Coalition, the PAC. It lists an RSVP email for an R. Scott Smith. That's who you were to respond to if you wanted to come. Senate President Randy Smith's legislative biography identifies R. Scott Smith as his son. Additionally, there was a fundraising note that was put out by the Coal Association. It said, we are joining with several member companies to host a roundtable discussion and fundraising reception on July 30th in Morgantown for Senate President Randy Smith and his leadership PAC, Mountaineer Conservative Coalition. Now, I want to be clear. The Coal Association and these companies were doing that because of Smith's pro-coal policies. That's fine. They should. They should back people who back them. They had nothing to do with this topic. But it serves as evidence that this PAC is indeed tied to Smith. And if it is, one would logically assume that he has editorial control over what it says. I admire Smith. I believe him to be a good man. But if he believes this, he should put his name on it.
I agree with you. I don't know how much editorial control. I do question how much editorial control he would have over the PAC if he is pulling the strings here. But certainly, I mean, you laid the case out. Brad made the connections as well. This PAC is associated with Randy Smith. And TJ, this really demonstrates. We talked about it all session long. The fissure that exists, particularly in the state Senate, in that Republican supermajority. There are at least two distinct factions, and I would make an argument you kind of have three. You have, if you want to use the right, ultra-right, you have the moderates, and you have some guys kind of in between that are able to work with either part of those factions. But this is probably the most blatant demonstration of those particular factions heading into the primary that we've seen so far.
And if this is not a PAC that Smith is associated with or is no longer associated with or does not have editorial control over, I would put something out today to clear the record because this does not look good.
And
it doesn't.
And look, I have no problem with any PAC supporting its candidate, supporting its position, supporting its best interest.
Absolutely.
That's the way this works. My problem is just the blatant misrepresentation here of what happened in 2021 and the misrepresentation of where Tom Takubo clearly stands on the issue. Yeah. Be truthful. Beat your opponents with policy and ideas. If you got to do the underhanded stuff, to me, that's an indication you're worried about the upcoming election.
Buyer beware. This is why voters must scrutinize everything that they hear and must do their research and must go take a look at the votes, pull the voting tab, and then pull the debate associated with them, especially around these topics that are driving voting when it comes to social issues, etc. But any issue that you're interested in. The things you hear on this show, be skeptical. Go do your own research. Because if you were just to take this ad at face value, I think most West Virginians would say, well, yeah, I don't want to vote for a guy who believes that biological males should play in girls' sports. I have daughters, Dave. I don't believe that. But you have to question everything, folks, because if you don't, you will fall victim to these half-truths. Truths, yes, but not truths with context. And it's extremely frustrating. It's also extremely disappointing.
Your thoughts at 304-TALK-304. You can give us a call at 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255, or text the show, 304-TALK-304. Your comments coming up. Bottom of the hour, drones over Louisiana. Back in a moment.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
WVU Medicine Nephrology is committed to providing advanced kidney care at its primary location in Morgantown's Suncrest Town Center, and also at outreach sites in Buchanan, Clarksburg, Elkins, Fairmont, Flatwoods, Grafton, Kaiser, Moorfield, and Summersville in West Virginia, and Oakland, Maryland. Our expert team of nephrologists use the latest diagnosis and treatment methods. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/nephrology.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Every day in West Virginia, we play for something bigger.
As a mom, I play for her education.
I play because it helps provide care for the ones who care for us.
I play to help keep our parks beautiful.
Why I play? Because every play supports West Virginia's future, our students, our seniors, and our state parks. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery have totaled nearly $13.7 billion. I play. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Couple of texts here, 304-TALK-304. Again, you all do not know what you are doing. The more I listen to you, the more I understand. I call it dumber than a coal bucket. You don't know what is really going on around you. You have a court system, pass the law and let the court decide. It's a way to be against something and for it at the same time. That's what Caputo did, says the texter.
Caputo?
You can see it. It says Caputo.
I don't think Caputo had anything to do with this one, but okay. All right.
304 Talk 304. Hey, fellas, my radio station just went static as TJ was going into the conspiracy theory. Seems kind of strange to me, says the texter. PAC involvement hides the individuals with agendas to favor their goals. Maybe it's time to say good riddance to political action committees.
I think it's definitely time to place tons of scrutiny on an ad that says paid for by some obscure PAC you've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear from the people making the claim. If you believe it, put your name on it. Doesn't seem to be too much of an ask to me.
If West Virginians are going to attack other West Virginians, at least incorporate in the state, or are they indicating Delaware is a better state for incorporation? Well, there's a lot of companies and corporations that are based in Delaware.
Delaware has a cottage industry around incorporating entities from all over the United States. The reason is there are very little regulations in play. It's as close to a black box as you're going to get. And there you go. People use it as a haven for that, and it is what it is.
Texter sent along with the text a GIF of a woman clutching her pearls. Well done. You mean to tell me that y'all are questioning the validity of a campaign ad claim? A false narrative? A PAC is misrepresenting what a candidate said? In West Virginia politics? My land! Oh, the humanity! Praise be! Citizens United, says the texter.
Very nice.
Well done. We appreciate gifts, by the way. Just going to throw that out there. This texter says, look at Senate Bill 914. Tacuba wants to increase tax on tobacco by 40%. That didn't get anywhere in the. That didn't have any traction this year, did it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it did. And I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. We did not end up taxing vape, right? It all got blurry there at the end, but no tax on vape. So.
Okay, texter was clarifying. For your information, you're right. Caputo didn't have anything to do with it. I'm driving and texting. When I say Caputo, it must mean Capito. It changes to Caputo every time. Laughing face emoji, says the texter.
Gotcha.
All right.
It's just my accent. It has nothing to do with my driving as much as it does. Siri does not appreciate my Appalachian dialect.
She does not. Any Appalachian dialect, she does not appreciate at all. See, AI is not going to take us over yet, just yet. All right, we'll get back to some of your texts. We'll get back to that coming up a little bit later on the program. After the break, we'll move on. TJ flagged this story earlier this week. Drones over at Air Force Base in Louisiana. Okay, you have my attention. We'll talk to retired Colonel Dunn is going to join us coming up on the other side of the break. A little bit later on, Marshall Athletics Director Gerald Harrison will join us as the swimming and diving team has been reinstated. We'll talk to him about that decision and moving forward. This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, Metro News has been the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update. Check in with the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. A safe driving advocate is taking her message to West Virginia students. Kara Filler is speaking to students in several schools this week about the death of her sister, whose boyfriend wrecked after going triple the speed limit.
Since that day, I think my first assembly was 2 months after, I've hopefully tried to pass on a message of safety to students all over the world, that we can't necessarily change what happens to us, but we can choose what happens next.
Filler, who was a guest Tuesday on Metro News Midday, speaking at schools in Montague County today. May 4th is the new trial date for the Mingo County man charged in the 2023 ambush-style shooting death of State Police Trooper Sergeant Corey Maynard. Timothy Kennedy was scheduled to go on trial earlier this year, but a mistrial was declared in the third day of jury selection. Sentencing is this hour in Capel County Circuit Court in the case of a boy who stabbed and killed his grandmother. Amari Poe stood trial as an adult back in January, was convicted on a murder charge. Organizers of the West Virginia Construction and Design Expo expect a busy day at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. Contractors Association of West Virginia CEO Jason Pizzatella says there's a lot to like about the current climate.
People are really believing in West Virginia. They're believing in the industry. They know that there are some really exciting things ongoing as we speak here today, but also some really exciting announcements planned for the future. And it's going to keep our workforce busy for a long, long time, and we're really excited about that.
The expo goes for 2 days. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
On Tuesday, March 31st at 6 p.m., the conversation comes to life through the Stubblefield Institute at Shepherd University. Watch on the Metro News TV app exploring the opportunities and challenges surrounding the rapid growth of data centers across West Virginia. Panelists include Kara Keys, Jefferson County Commissioner Amy Margolis, Executive Director of Tucker United, Chris Morris, Director of the Data Economy Office with the West Virginia Department of Economic Development, and Dado Slezak, Executive Vice President of Utility Innovation QTS, moderated by Steve Pearson of Observer Weekly. Panelists will examine how large-scale data center development could affect infrastructure, land use, energy demand, environmental concerns, and the future of commodities across the Mountain State. Have questions you want answered? Submit it in advance at StubblefieldInstitute.org. Watch the event live and free on the Metro News television app.
The Democrats in the House of Delegates are voicing their formal opposition against the Marl Transmission Line project. The group sent a letter to the PSC, quoting here, "We urge the commission to deny NextEra's application for a certificate of public convenience and necessity." The letter continues, "The Marl proposal is not in the public interest of West Virginia. If approved, West Virginians would bear numerous costs while the benefits would flow almost exclusively out of state." The PSC has set a hearing on that application for October. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Text line is 304-TALK 304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. If you would like to weigh in, coming up, Gerald Harrison, Marshall AD, going to join us. We'll talk to him about the swimming and diving program being reinstated and what that means moving forward. Coming up second hour, DHS shutdown continues. If you are traveling, expect long major delays at the major airports. What impact is that having here in West Virginia? Dominique Ranieri will join us. She is the CEO and director out at Yeager International Airport. We'll get an update from her coming up in the second hour of the show. Trying to get connected with retired Colonel Burner Dunn. Don't see him on the screen yet, so we'll get some text here, 304-TALK 304. That's the text line, 800-765-8255. Texter says, let's see if you two show the same concern when Mountaineer Freedom Alliance starts running ads against certain Republicans. Well, I mean, if they're blatant misrepresentations that need clarification, yeah, we will. I mean, look, I don't have a dog in the fight here. If it's what we're trying to do is get information out to you about, well, what's right, what's wrong. That's what we're trying to do here. And that's a blatant misrepresentation. That's why we brought it up today. Maybe we should hear from Randy Smith. Does he support the ad, asks the texter. Well, Brad reached out for comment, and he didn't offer any.
Well, in advance of the piece running, too, I'm told.
304-TALK 304. That is, dropped my phone. Sorry. That is the text line. Bible says, my people perish due to a lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. Fair. Hoppy don't believe in conspiracy theories. Check the roof and antenna for the old geezer with wire cutters. Devil's advocate here, gents. And let me preface, I'm for neither side and definitely hate smear ads in politics. If Tom was truly for what he says, what is the worst of the two evils? Possibly having to come back to fix a law or something happening to a female by a trans in a locker room. Choose the lesser, protect the girls, says the texter. Part of the discussion at the time was whether or not we had a problem in West Virginia that needed to be fixing. Where was there a sense of urgency here? That was part of the question at the time, and I get the texter's point of view there. But that was the question. And part of the bill, there was concern, especially in 2021 at the time, that this could come back and you could have negative repercussions with regard to Marshall and WVU if they were included in that state law. And Tom Takubo explained that clearly in his explanation for voting against it. And he wasn't the only one. It was a close vote. It was 18-15 and one member not voting at the time, if I remember correctly.
No, you're spot on. And there were other Republicans that shared the same concern that did not vote, according to that. I'm pulling it up right now. I thought I had it. I'll work on getting that. But no, you can go to Brad's story and see the roll call. And it was close. Takubo was not alone in his skepticism. And I think it's fair. I mean, look, when we try to go beyond legally what we can, what is beyond our purview, and I think you can make a strong argument that the NCAA, obviously doing business across this country, that's interstate commerce. We don't regulate that as a state. That falls under the purview of the federal government. And look, the NC2A has come in line under the executive order that the president issued. That's the other part of this. When we try to go beyond as a means of political posturing, those that do that risk, and I think some knowingly, maybe some not, risk the law being overturned because West Virginia is stepping over its bounds. And what Takubo was saying is, look, if we leave this to high school, we know we can regulate that within West Virginia. So it narrows the chance for any kind of legal challenge. It narrows the NCAA trying to come into the issue, whether they end up doing that or not. And as we all know, let's be honest, this has gone to the Supreme Court, the BPJ case. It's still pending at the Supreme Court. But if you take a look at what he was trying to do, and again, I would encourage you to go pull the audio and listen to it in its entirety for yourself. It becomes clear that he very much is not in favor of biological males participating in girls' sports. He was trying to make sure the issue didn't get bogged down in court and thus go on longer than it would have to.
And listen, I don't even necessarily have a problem with the PAC calling Takubo out for that vote. It's on paper. It happened. It is what it is. It's the misrepresentation. And really, TJ, it really bothered me that they used Paula Scanlon, again, someone who has gone through this, has lived this, has talked about it, has come out to publicly denounce men in women's sports, share her very personal experiences, to use her in the ad when she has no idea. She went to the University of Pennsylvania. She doesn't know Tom Takubo from TJ Meadows. She doesn't. No. And to use her in the ad, boy, that really put it over the top for me. That's underhanded. That's taking advantage of somebody, and that's taking advantage of not only just misrepresenting the story, but it's taking advantage of someone who is very passionate about a very personal topic that she's put herself out there to try to make change for. Didn't like it.
No, well, you're right. And I looked at the ad. I went back. I actually had a transcript of the ad made. It's wonderful, the technology we have today. Press of a button, boom, there's the transcript. Everything up until 13 seconds was spot on. Spot on, sure. Dave. You work so hard. You train, you get up early, you sacrifice time with friends and other things that you want to do, and then you're forced to compete against a man. That's absolutely a fair statement. It's not fair using the same locker rooms. I'm with you. It's not safe. I'm with you. And then we got to 13 seconds in. 13 seconds. Takubo voted to allow men to play against women. Okay, now we're going off the rails.
Texter brings up a pretty good point here, TJ. 304-TALK, 304. If I were an incoming Republican senator, I would take pause before supporting an individual for leadership who turns on others in the same party with such dishonesty and vehemence. I don't see this approach serving Smith well long term. That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
I mean, it's a hornet's nest over there, man.
Oh, sure.
Senate. I mean, it's a hornet's nest. Just call it what it is.
Your thoughts are welcome. 304-TALK, 304-800-765-8255. 800-765-TALK is the phone number. All right, we were able to track down Colonel Dunn. Let's get him on for a couple of minutes. We were talking about a drone sighting that raised alarms at one of the U.S. Air Force's largest and most strategic airfields earlier this month. In fact, it was more extensive and potentially more dangerous than first reported. Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana was under a shelter-in-place order on March 9th after a report of an unmanned aerial system operating over the installation. Colonel Dunn joins us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Colonel, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
So why is this so, first of all, where are these things coming from? I don't think we've figured that out, but why is this so concerning, drones flying over Barksdale Air Force Base?
Well, drones flying over any military base are an absolute huge concern. They can be weaponized very easily, and even if you don't put any weapons into the system, if you were to fly a drone even into a parked aircraft, it could cause some level of damage. So it's a very huge concern. I am hoping it was some sort of demonstration by the military to test their defenses, if you will, but there's been no validation of that concept. So it could have been a nefarious actor that did something like that.
Do we have defenses, Colonel? I mean, I think that's the big issue, at least in my mind. Can we defend against this?
We can. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready, our company, the company that I own, I'm getting ready to provide some systems with a teammate to support one of the Air Force bases. I won't mention which one, but we're bringing some anti-drone or drone busters, if you will, out to some of the Air Force bases. And it is the responsibility of the base commander in the bases and installations to make sure that they're protecting themselves against these drone attacks. It is a very complex problem.
How can you... I saw some speculation, well, maybe this was just folks playing with their drones, pushing it a little too far, amateurs out there being a little too bold. Can you kind of give us, regular citizens an idea of how you can tell the difference between someone who's getting a little too frisky with their drones and an actual enemy operation?
Well, first off, if it's an enemy operation, they're doing one of two things. They're probing to see what they can do, and then maybe they're going to weaponize those drones later. So they're doing a probing mission to see if they can actually get their drone into an area, or they're going to use them in a kinetic manner. So that's what you're going to typically see from an enemy, if you will. If you're a civilian and you're operating drones around a military base that is prohibited, they need to put you in jail, at least give you a ticket, cost you a tremendous fine, and take your drones away, because a drone will bring down the most sophisticated aircraft and potentially kill everybody on board. All it takes is a mid-air collision with one of those drones, and it can be catastrophic, whether it's a helicopter, a jet fighter, or even a large bomber like we had at Barksdale.
If this was the government testing, trying to see how our troops, our bases perform, do they have a duty to tell the American public that that's what was going on? Because this thing is just hanging out there, and it's uncomfortable when it's hanging out there.
It depends. And I say that because if we're doing something specific, you may not want to let an adversary know what we're doing. Because remember, it's not just Americans that are listening to the radio broadcast and the TV broadcast. It's our, open borders for 4 years. How many drones that are little tiny drones in a backpack were brought into this country? We have no way of knowing, right? Is it one? Is it a million? I don't know. But the possibility was there that they could have brought drones in. And then you can go to almost any Walmart and buy a drone and pretty quickly weaponize it if that's what your desire is. So it's a huge concern.
Colonel William Burner Dunn, retired United States Marine Corps Colonel. Hey, we appreciate the perspective. Sorry we got connected late this morning, but we appreciate the thoughts.
Well, no problem. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Coming up, we'll switch gears. Gerald Harrison, Marshall Thundering Herd Athletics Director, will join us. The swimming and diving team was reinstated last week. We'll talk about that and moving forward. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life!
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All the sports West Virginia is talking about.
Nikki Izzo-Brown, coach of the nationally ranked WVU women's soccer team.
I think they're just having a very good understanding of each other.
Join Kyle Wiggs, Brett Howe, and Coach Hunter weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
On the next State of Minds. I came here to Morgantown, the WVU. I wanted to play football. Tried to walk on, but I was humbled very quickly. So I joined the WVU forestry team. What my father taught me was the importance of hard work and the importance of sweat equity.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
About a month ago, Marshall University announced that it was going to eliminate its swimming and diving program. Then, last week, University President and Marshall AD Gerald Harrison announced that swimming and diving would be reinstated. The decision reflected an updated implementation strategy for advancing the university's commitment to Title IX participation, opportunities, financial stewardship, and the long-term sustainability of Marshall athletics. Joining us on Metro News Talkline this morning is the Thundering Herd Athletics Director, Gerald Harrison. Gerald, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Doing pretty well. We appreciate you taking some time. It was kind of a crazy month there. So how much of the decision to reinstate swimming and diving was part of making certain you did not run afoul of Title IX, but also in response to the overwhelming support that the public had for the program?
Well, I'll tell you, one thing I know about Marshall in a short period of time is that the people, Herd Nation is very passionate, and we did hear from a lot of people, but really that wasn't the root of our reconsideration. What we looked at, we were presented with some new information and a different perspective, and we looked at it and said, you know what, maybe there's a way that we can try to do this, sustain the program, and also continue to grow our Title IX without without just blowing up what we've done over the last several years. And so we worked through that, and then when we presented with that new information, leadership requires that we will be willing to make a change, and we changed course on that. So yes, people's voices were heard. We got all the information possible. People were very passionate on social media and everything else, but it really dealt with the behind the scenes and the information that we were able to step back and look at again and just reassess the direction that we're going in.
What was that new information, that new perspective?
Well, a lot of it just was when you look at the Title IX, there's 3 prongs to Title IX. We had an outside group look at our situation, and it led us to believe that if we eliminated swimming and diving, we were going to probably potentially be outside of that 3rd prong as well, which meant we were out of compliance in three different areas, and so we didn't want to do that. And so we wanted to try to find a way to maintain ourselves and continue to work toward our goals of Title IX compliance in all 3 prongs. But we still had work to do. We just kind of changed the direction and how we were going to do it in the timing. So to subtract and add was probably not going to be the best formula for us. And it was going to be able to, maintain what we had, add, and then look at different ways to continue to add to get closer to our goals from a Title IX standpoint.
Talking to Marshall Thundering Herd Athletics Director Gerald Harrison. Gerald, the legislature passed Senate Bill 502. That's the Women's College Sports Protection Act for the purposes of creating a permanent endowment to support women's college athletics. Have you been able to review that, and how could that be utilized moving forward?
Well, yeah, no, one thing, Marshall was supportive of that when it first came up. Marshall and WVU were both supportive of that. I don't think either school or anyone has we don't go into this looking to hurt people or take away opportunities, but there's real challenges facing college athletics. Now, what 502B does, it basically says that we can have foundations to support women's athletics, but it hasn't put another dime toward women's athletics for either institution. So now state funding can come in play, and if they want to do a matching or something like that down the line, that they have the ability to do that now, but it just hasn't been done yet. So we've always had foundation accounts and endowments. In fact, we have 5 specifically for women's swimming and diving. The last one starting 3 years ago, we've already had those. And we had it across our board in different foundation accounts. So hopefully the state and the legislature will find an opportunity to help us and to put public dollars into sustaining and increasing the numbers that we already have for women's sports.
Gerald, talk about the humility. You made a mistake. That's part of leadership, owning it, re-examining. I think you're to be commended for that, frankly. Talk about why that willingness and acting in that manner, leveraging humility as part of leadership, how that makes Marshall better.
Well, I think when here's the thing. The decision that we made the first time after assessing it, those challenges still remain. They were not, they were made, we wouldn't have gone into this and tried to, looked at this opportunity. We didn't think we had it evaluated and thought we had our hands around it pretty good. I think the humility comes in from saying, you know what? So there was a group of student athletes that were hurt for about 28 days or so. And is there a way that we can trim, cut, and do some things where we could save that program as well as comply from a Title IX standpoint? And we found that there were, and we just decided to take another path, the road less traveled, I guess, we decided to take. And it's going to have an impact because the financial realities are still the same. The challenges that we outlined in the initial decision are still the same. The humility comes from being willing to say, you know what, I'm not going to necessarily dig my feet in the heels in the ground here. Let's try to find a way to do all things possible to keep the program as well as continue to grow it. But you got to be willing, and any decision I make is that way. You got to be willing to look at the information presented in front of you and be willing to take a deeper dive and a longer look at it. And so, I'm okay with that. I've been that kind of leader. I'm not.
You should be. Good for you. That's quality. That's quality. Good for you.
Yeah, I've always been that kind. We're going to assess every decision. I'm my own worst critic, regardless of what some folks may think on social media. I'm my own worst critic, and I'm excited that we have an opportunity to serve, 28 more student athletes, and then throw out eventually 65 new student athletes in the sport of stunt. And so we're working our way toward our goal, and I look forward to doing that.
Marshall Thundering Herd Athletics Director Gerald Harrison. Gerald, we appreciate the time this morning. Thank you so much. We'll talk again real soon.
Hey, no problem. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. This is Talkline in the Encova Insurance Studios.
Getting ghosted is never fun, especially by your network. Cyber threats don't announce themselves. They slip in quietly, disrupt operations, and disappear before you know what happened. CityNet's cybersecurity services provide proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert response, so your business stays connected and protected. Commit to a relationship built on trust and reliability. Learn more at citynet.net today. And remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Hoppy Kercheval, 5:55 a.m. How early did you get in that day, by the way?
Probably 3:30. Probably 3:30.
How long did you do sign-on shift?
I signed on like 7 years.
Not all.
6 days a week for 7 years.
Lightweight.
I know. Couldn't do it now. Now when I wake up at 3:30 is to go to the bathroom. And go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, when we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this. I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date I put 2025 on it. Because how many of us in modern day
actually write the date out anymore. I mean, you did it when you were in school. You did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Something, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian who
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could like live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And she, I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. Mm-hmm. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Yeah. 10 seconds remaining.
There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Hope you are having a great Wednesday. We appreciate you letting us be part of your day on one of our great radio affiliates across the states, or if you're watching in on the MetroNews television app. Zach Karolchek is our video producer today. Ethan Collins handling the radio side of things. Bottom of the hour, Jeff Jenkins will join us. A major shakeup in the organization and the reorganization of Vandalia Health, which includes David Goldberg, the president at Mon Health up in Morgantown, stepping away. We'll get the latest coming up bottom of the hour with Jeff. More of your reactions to our comments concerning the ad that has been released on the Senate race down in Kanawha County involving Tom Takubo, the Mountaineer, I want to make sure I get this correct, Mountaineer Conservative Coalition releasing that ad. We'll get to some of your thoughts about that coming up in the next segment as well. Also, don't forget, experience Keno in a new way with the Dragon Keno Blast. This $10 scratch-off is available in-store and online with iPlay, the official West Virginia Lottery app. Dragon Keno. Play Dragon Keno Blast today for your chance to win no matter where you play. The Dragon slays 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. With all that, once again, say good morning to TJ Meadows.
Good morning, sir. News Nation, our friends there, along with other outlets reporting that Iran is saying it will not accept ceasefire from the United States, won't accept the terms. So that breaking this morning as well.
Is that okay? I don't know. I don't know what to believe coming out of Iran.
Yeah, that came from Iranian television.
Well,
so
like I said, I don't know what to believe coming out of Iran. I don't know what to believe coming out from anybody, to be honest, but especially if it's coming from official Iranian state media. So
yeah,
we will see as that moves forward. Also moving forward is the continued government shutdown. Yes, there is a partial government shutdown that continues specifically with DHS. You're well aware of that if you've been traveling through any airports as of late, especially the major hubs. Massive lines continue. TSA agents are working without pay. Some have been calling in sick. Some have even quit their jobs because of the financial pressures across the country, and that, of course, has led to massive lines, long backups. So how are we doing here in West Virginia? How is that impacting flyers in and out of the Mountain State? Well, let's find out. Let's turn to the CEO and director at West Virginia International Yeager Airport. Dominique Ranieri is joining us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Dominique, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
How are things holding up there at Yeager as the DHS shutdown continues?
So here at CRW, we're holding steady. We are so fortunate to have such a dedicated team of TSA agents that have not started those call-outs that other airports are seeing, causing long lines. So here at CRW, we are seeing normal wait times for our TSA checkpoint, and we couldn't be more appreciative to our TSA team.
How are these people dealing with the lack of a paycheck?
It is heartbreaking to hear some of the stories, and here at CRW, we have a lot of husband and wife duos, couples that both work for TSA here at CRW. So imagine that situation where both are not receiving a paycheck since February. And we're not that far off from the last government shutdown. So a lot of them were just recovering from, the credit card bills and everything else they had incurred just months ago.
If lawmakers cannot reach an agreement soon, and I'm asking you to kind of predict the future here, but how do you anticipate that starting to impact CRW directly?
So I'm hopeful here at CRW we can continue to maintain our staffing levels. Like I mentioned, we have a very dedicated TSA workforce here in West Virginia, that long-term TSA officers that are very dedicated. But of course, I'm worried about the future and the ability of TSA to continue recruiting people to work for TSA generally. I mean, if you're thinking about working for the agency and you've seen multiple shutdowns, is it the most reliable position that you can go out for? Like you mentioned, we've already seen more than 450 TSA officers quit nationwide just during this shutdown. So I'm worried further out of our ability to recruit and staff TSA generally.
Have you had any conversations with our delegation or any congressman or senator for that matter to say, look, guys, hands off. We come up with a fund to do something, but hands off of manipulating people's paychecks, federal employees, because it really hurts. Play politics another way.
Absolutely. I actually was in DC last week for meetings, and I was able to meet with both of our senators and Congresswoman Miller. They're all very concerned about our TSOs. They use the airports a lot to get back and forth to DC and to do the work that they do. They share the same frustrations. They want to see our officers paid, and we're really hoping that they can work something out to where there's a little bit of insurance that future shutdowns won't result in our TSOs not getting paid.
We're speaking with the CEO and director at West Virginia International Yeager Airport, Dominique Ranieri. What about for flyers coming to and from Yeager? How are they being impacted? How are they dealing with all this?
You know, people are packing their patience, which we greatly appreciate. They're also showing their appreciation to the TSOs at our checkpoint. We, appreciate that they are appreciating them. What we are warning our passengers that are flying out of CRW that although we're not seeing those wait times, when they return from whatever airport they're flying out, back to CRW from, to definitely check in with those airport websites and see what their wait times look like, because it could definitely require getting to the airport early.
At what point do people decide, and maybe this is where Yeager sees an impact, at what point do people decide, I'm just going to drive, I'm not going to fly, I don't want to wait, and so you start to see less people coming through Yeager?
It could definitely happen. The time benefit analysis of, do I spend 5 hours waiting, in Atlanta to get back, or do I rent a car and drive, is definitely something that people are doing. And unfortunately, this shutdown has spanned the duration of all of the spring breaks in our state. So that's been something that we're very concerned about, because of course we want our airlines to see that our residents here are utilizing our flights, that our flights are strong, and that they need to add frequency and they need to add more routes. So we definitely want to see this shutdown end sooner rather than later, so that that confidence that the passengers have doesn't wane and they don't start doing that analysis of, do I just drive?
Speaking with Dominique Ranieri, she is the CEO and director at West Virginia International Yeager Airport. This wasn't on the topics list, but I'm going to throw it at you anyway. I'm sure you can handle it. With the conflict in Iran, that's affected oil prices, that's affected fuel prices, including jet fuel. So how has that? Have you felt the impact of that at Yeager so far?
So we're watching our ticket prices. Over the last couple of years, we've done a lot to enhance competition here at CRW to bring our average fares down. We have seen the average fares come down quite a bit here at CRW. And of course, when we get into these situations, it's what we call jet fuel shock. So all of the airline CEOs are already talking about the impact of oil prices on their ability to not only fill up their aircraft, but also what the ticket prices are going to do if they have to pass on those costs to the passenger. And then two, it influences their expansion plans. So we're really hoping to announce some additional flights by the midsummer, end of the year. And those flight announcements could be put on hold because of oil prices. So we're monitoring it very closely, but we've seen jet fuel jump almost double since the conflict began.
So the price is jumping, but as you talk with airline executives, do they give you any insight? Do you know if they've hedged fuel so they're not really seeing it yet and passing it on? So we should expect something once those contracts would expire, or are they at the mercy of the market from day one?
A lot of airlines used to hedge. It's less common now. I think Southwest was the last one to kind of say, okay, we're not hedging anymore. Delta does own their own refinery, so they have a little bit of insulation from these large jumps in fuel prices. But most of them, fuel is typically their number one or number two cost. The CEO of United has already announced the financial impact on fuel prices this year is going to be quite astronomical, and they're anticipating it.
Speaking with Dominique Ranieri, she is the CEO, director of West Virginia International Yeager Airport. Before we let you go, is there anything folks can do to help out TSA workers, TSA agents who are dealing with working without getting paid over the last 40 days now?
Oh, thank you for asking that question and for thinking about them. We have been doing drives here at the airport for non-perishable food, household essentials, and then gift cards under $20. So we are asking folks if they would like to drop that off for our TSOs. They can do so anytime between 8 and 5 right here in the main terminal at our ambassador podium. And then we've had a lot of great community partners that have been sending up food so we can feed these folks while they're here. But yes, anything the community would like to send up to the airport, we will make sure that those TSOs receive it.
Dominique Ranieri, she is the CEO and director up at West Virginia International Yeager Airport. Thanks for the update, Dominique. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Coming up, more of your reactions at 304-TALK-304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Jeff Jenkins is going to join us bottom of the hour. We'll get you the latest reorganization in Vandalia Health. When it comes to cybersecurity, blind trust is a bad idea. CityNet helps businesses avoid risky connections with proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert local support. Learn more at citynet.net today. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Worried about paying for college? MetroNews is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Looking for a career that truly matters? Healthcare offers stability, great benefits, and careers that are in demand right now. From patient care to technology and support roles, healthcare careers offer flexibility and opportunity. Not sure where you fit? Take the quick healthcare career quiz at explorehealthcareerswv.com. Discover the path that's right for you. Healthcare careers, where passion meets purpose.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stay connected to what's happening today in West Virginia.
What about this and what about that? And it just went back and forth. And I was just the guy reading the text. Okay, so what's your take on the whole thing?
Well, now you just get me fired up. Now
Right.
you just
So I'm
get me
gonna turn on. I'm gonna run down to Wendy's and grab a burger, and I'll be back.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
On the next State of Minds.
I came here to Morgantown, the WVU. I wanted to play football. Tried to walk on, but I was humbled very quickly. So I joined the WVU forestry team. What my father taught me was the importance of hard work and the importance of sweat equity.
304 Talk 304, that is the text line, 800-765-8255. That is the phone number. Back at the top of the show, TJ and I dived into an ad that is causing some ripples in the political sphere here in West Virginia leading into the primary election season. The Political Action Committee Mountaineer Conservative Coalition, a nonprofit political action committee incorporated in Delaware, has distributed the advertisement against State Senator Tom Takubo. Do we have that ad, Zach? Let's just go ahead and play that ad one more time so you have the full context of that. You got that queued up, Zach?
You work so hard, you train, you get up early, you sacrifice time with friends and other things that you want to do, and then you're forced to compete against a man. It's not fair. Using the same locker rooms, it's not safe. Takubo voted to allow men to play against women. It's not fair. It's common sense, but not for Tom Takubo. Tom Takubo betrayed our daughters and made athletes like me less safe. Tell Tom Takubo to stop endangering West Virginia girls.
And the voice you heard is Paula Scanlon, former University of Pennsylvania swimmer. She competed against Leah Thomas, in fact was a teammate with Leah Thomas. Of course, Leah Thomas, the man who identified as woman and competed in the NCAA women's swim events there. Oh, gosh, it's been what, 10 years ago? Longer than that?
Maybe.
Has it been 10 years ago? Anyway, it's been a while. It's been a few years. At any rate, I digress. Basically, what I said was the whole thing kind of made me itch because it's a misrepresentation of the facts, and you took advantage. I think Paula Scanlon was taken advantage of because she has no idea who Tom Takubo is or who Chris Pritt is or Randy Smith or anybody else involved in that race. I thought it was in poor taste. I thought it was a misrepresentation, and it's part of dirty politics I'll never get accustomed to.
Blatant lies. Everything was good up until 13 seconds. After that, it became, at best, a cavalier relationship with the truth. I don't even think it was that, if I'm being honest. Anything you hear Takubo after that, anytime his name is called upon, discount that. You have to, because it just doesn't align with what Takubo said on the floor in 2021, Dave, which is, I do not believe biological males, boys, should be able to participate in girls' sports.
Well,
don't believe it.
Here's what he said.
Do I 100% firmly believe that boys should play boys' sports and girls should play? Absolutely. Now, to be honest, I really have no issue with a girl playing a boys' sport because, again, the body mass issue is not there. If you've got the athletic ability for a girl to play boys baseball, or I really wouldn't have any issue with that. But the fact of the matter is, where the Masters tournament is on, the top female golfer, I remember just a few years ago, tried to play against the guys in the tournament, got killed, and she was like the number one women's golfer 8 or 9 years in a row. So there's a clear difference. And so that's what the bill does. And so as a senator, do I look at this section of the bill and say, could that cause some major problems? I could see somebody trying to pull us out as an example, and come football season for W and Marshall and all the college athletes in our state that are trying to move forward, that this could create some major hiccups again for a problem we really don't have.
And that was Takubo explaining his opposition to the bill. Remember, this was a time too, TJ. For example, when Major League Baseball moved the All-Star game out of Atlanta because of voter laws that the state legislature had passed in Georgia. So there was some precedent for sports organizations acting in response to what state legislatures were doing and in 2021.
Yeah, but I firmly believe, look, college sports, that's NC2A, that's interstate commerce. We can't do anything about that here. I mean, sorry, we can't. That has to be taken care of separately. And that was the point Takubo was trying to make.
Yep.
Let's limit it to high school so we don't end up in a sling. And high school isn't a scapegoat, right? High school athletes aren't allowed to continue, et cetera, et cetera. Look, don't believe us. Go to the tape. Hop onto the legislature's website. Go to the archives in the Senate floor. April the 8th, 2021 at 1:54 p.m. Listen to the entire comment he made for yourself. Listen to the ad. Decide for yourself. All we're saying, Dave, and not to put words in your mouth, is this thing doesn't get it right. It's casual with the truth, and there's more to the story.
Let's get to some comments. 304 Talk 304. Texter says, Paula is not innocent. I promise you she got paid. Oh, I would be shocked if she was not paid for it. But I still think not having all of the information available, only being given a script, I mean, she has no idea. She has no idea who Tom Takubo is, or Randy Smith, or TJ Meadows, or Dave Wilson, for that matter. And I think you're taking advantage of her. The good thing about Craig Blair, Mitch Carmichael, and Bill Cole was that none of those guys ever threw members of their own caucus under the bus. They made it a point to stick together and work out their differences quietly, personally, and out of the public eye. It was a better leadership style than what Randy Smith has shown us so far.
It's a fair point. And whoever wins, and by wins, I mean whoever gets the most seats in the next midterm, this is all about the Senate presidency. Takubo has his team of candidates. He would, if they win enough seats, ultimately probably be Senate president. Randy Smith wants to keep it. You've got other folks that are angling for it. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 names over there that want this. So people see a path to leadership. They're either trying to hang on to it or they're trying to get it.
Texter says, I was going to vote on the Democrat ballot out of spite, but now I might have to switch to the Republican. Rolling eye emoji. 304 Talk 304. We'll get to that in just a little bit. 304 Talk. Morning, gentlemen. This one has to do with illegals trying to vote. What? Okay. Dave, Riley Gaines and Leah Thomas competed in 2022, says Phil. All right, just seems like it's been 10 years ago.
Thanks, Phil.
That's how time moves in politics. When did that happen? About 10 years ago? Last Tuesday.
I really struggle with this. I mean, last week seems like 2 years ago. It does. It just does.
Jeff Jenkins will join us next. A major reorganization within Vandalia Health. We'll get the details from Jeff coming up on the other side of the break. More of your comments as well. 304 Talk 304. That's the text line 800-765-TALK, the number. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. The state's second largest health system is in the process of restructuring. In a letter to employees, Vandalia Health President and CEO David Ramsey and the incoming president, Jeff Sandine, explained the changes coming to the corporation.
We're restructuring for the future, and we're restructuring to be successful in the future. Nobody has to worry about their jobs. The jobs will be there. We want our hospitals to be successful and serve their communities, grow in the services they offer. So Well, hopefully they saw that in the letter we sent.
And there will be two distinct divisions, the CAMC division and the Regional Hospital Division. Now, the CAMC division will include those facilities that have always been part of CAMC in the Kanawha Valley. The Regional Hospital Division will be all the others that have been brought under the Vandalia Health umbrella, including Morgantown's Mon General Hospital. Under the restructuring, David Goldberg, who had headed up Mon Health in the Northern Division, has left. The sparring over who controls the Republican supermajority in the Senate has taken a new turn.
It's common sense, but not for Tom Takubo.
Now, that's an excerpt from a political ad featuring Paula Scanlon, a former University of Pennsylvania swimmer who competed against Leah Thomas, the first transgender athlete to win a Division I championship, claiming that Takubo does not support protecting women's sports by voting against the Save Women's Sports Act. Brad McElhaney writes more about it this morning in a story at WVMetroNews.com. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Worried about paying for college? MetroNews is proud to present the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Now showing on Metro News Television, your friends at Hope Gas and Greer Industries present State of Minds. Tony Caridi talks with world champion lumberjack Arden Koger.
What my father taught me was the importance of hard work and the importance of sweat equity.
State of Minds, now showing on Metro News TV. Presented by Hope Gas and Greer Industries, only on the Metro News Television app.
The driver of a U-Haul box truck is recovering from injuries after he lost control and crashed the rented vehicle into a house near Elkview in Kanawha County.
There wasn't an occupant in the house. They were uninjured, able to get out of the house fine. It did cause some foundation damage. We had a gas leak. We had a water leak. We got the appropriate people on scene to turn that off so we could work the incident.
That's Sergeant Jeremy Burns with the Kanawha County Sheriff's Department speaking with WCHS-TV. Name of the driver was not released. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence. 304 Talk. 304 is the text line. 800-765-8255. That is the phone number. Texter to the bat phone said, hey, what about the attack ads that were run against Senator Patricia Rucker in the last campaign? And look, hey, attack ads, that's part of politics. It's part of campaigning. There's a ton of data, TJ, that says negative ads work. People say they hate them, but they work.
They work.
I have no problem with the attack ad, as you pointed out, right up to about halfway through it. You want to point out that Tom Takubo voted no on that bill? Point it out. It's on record. It's right there. It's in black and white. But to misrepresent the context of it, take advantage of what this woman is fighting for, that's the part that made me itch.
And look, just to be clear, if another ad comes out from another group, we'll talk about that. We'll hit on that one. We'll figure it out. But I can't control what Rucker did 2 campaigns ago when I wasn't here. I mean, come on.
But, again, right up until, what'd you say, 13 seconds in?
13 seconds, man. It takes a huge, 180.
Huge, yes. It changes the context of that entire ad. And moreover, and we'll get to Jeff in just a second. I know he's sitting right there. I can see him. But moreover, TJ, again, it is the first major demonstration of this fissure, especially on the Senate side, that we have in the Republican Party as we head into the primary election season.
Yeah, and it's going to get, I'm afraid, even nastier than what we've seen thus far, which is disappointing.
Let's get to Jeff Jenkins, Metro News News. That seems kind of redundant. At any rate, Vandalia Health, the second largest health organization in the state of West Virginia, has undergone or is undergoing a major reorganization, and that means one of the top health officials in the state is at least no longer with that organization. Let's bring Jeff into the conversation. Jeff, good morning, buddy.
Hey, guys, good morning. Yeah, Vandalia Health, you've got 2 huge health systems in West Virginia, right? WVU Medicine and Vandalia Health. And Vandalia Health formed about 4 years ago this fall, mainly made up of CAMC in the south and Mon Health in the north. But since then, they've added, They started out, I think, with 4 facilities. They're up to 17 now and almost 4 years old. It's the leadership of that. I mean, you've had David Goldberg in the north with Mon Health, and you've had David Ramsey in the south, CMC, the leadership of that. But Ramsey's been the main leader, when they set that up. And so he's retiring. And in a letter from Ramsey and Jeff Sandine, the new president and CEO, and Sandine's been the CFO at CMC. There's a lot of initials going on here, but Jeff Sandine's been at CMC for a long time. He's taking over for Ramsey, and they announced in a letter to employees. You can read part of that letter at our website, wvmetronews.com, that, hey, this is a good time to reorganize. There's a couple of things taking place. There's some retirements. David Ramsey, Glenn Crotty, who's been at CMC a long time, Dr. Glenn Crotty. And they think this is a good time to just take a look at it. It's 4 years old. Just take a look at it and see if there's a better way to do this. And I was able to catch up with Dave Ramsey over at the hospital here at CMC earlier today. We'll play a couple sound bites. Here's what he said.
We're restructuring for the future, and we're restructuring to be successful in the future. Nobody has to worry about their jobs. The jobs will be there. We want our hospitals to be successful and serve their communities, grow in the services they offer. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully they saw that in the letter we sent.
Okay, so one casualty of this is David Goldberg, who's led Mon Health, and who was in basically the second highest position there in Vandalia Health. And Goldberg's gone as part of this. There was the restructuring. His position was going to change. And I asked David Ramsey about David Goldberg, and no longer with Vandalia Health.
He had the vision of bringing that system into CMC system to create Vandalia Health. He's done a great deal for the community and for the organization up there. And, he just didn't see a role in our organization going forward. So we wish him all the best.
Okay. So now, was that, I don't know what that is. Is that hey, your position is being eliminated, you can take this, less of a position, or you're no longer with us? I don't know all of those ins and outs, what they are. We're not privy to some of that. I'm sure people have their opinions or may know, more than we do. But that's the case right now. Goldberg's gone. He's confirmed that with us. And he is no longer with Vandalia Health. Another big thing here, guys, is the Medicaid situation, right? Because, and David Ramsey talked to me about that, about, the state or West Virginia set to lose $1.3 billion in Medicaid coverage over the next 2 years. Now, he said that may be delayed by a year. Mm-hmm. It's possible, but because of what's come from Congress, and 50% of the patients covered by CMC, which is the largest part of Vandalia Health, 50% are Medicaid patients. So they're going to have fewer Medicaid patients. And so they'll get, which already doesn't pay the full cost of what it costs to treat them. And so he said, they're preparing for that too. Mm-hmm. So you can, little shake up, no hospitals are closing, there's no mass layoffs or anything like that. It's more kind of, I get the sense, kind of reorganizing at the top. Yeah. Because there's retirements coming. And so, there's some reorganization. Yeah. And they've done this for 4 years and they think there's a better way to go.
Personally, 20, 25 years in business, I don't believe in a merger of equals. There is always a controlling party. Right. One entity or the other, their culture takes over, their leadership style takes over, and you can't have two captains trying to steer a ship. And so this is the result of what happens when two big entities get together. Yeah. There's always changes in the C-suite. And honestly, I hate that for Goldberg. I like Goldberg. I think he's a great guy. I'm sure he'll land somewhere. Someone will be very happy with employing David Goldberg. And unfortunately, sometimes you're either in or you're out, and it looks like he was out.
There's no doubt that David Goldberg has a lot of energy. He's done a lot. They've done Mon Health and under Vandalia has done these market-type hospitals, these smaller-type hospitals. Dave, you would know this in Fairmont and Clarksburg and those type of – and he's got his supporters. One of those, who's never afraid to comment, Tom Bloom, Montague County Commissioner, and he made this comment earlier today.
He represented our area amazingly, and this is going to be a great loss to our area. And as I said, not only did he have the respect of his staff and his workers, but as importantly, he received the respect from local and state officials.
Okay, so there's a comment from Tom Bloom in support of David Goldberg.
And Jeff, I'll just add into that. Not only was David Goldberg, heading up Mon Health, he was involved in local economic development. He was involved in the Development Authority. He was involved in boards and commissions, those sort of things. So he was involved in the community here, well-liked, well-respected, and certainly the news, I think, caught some people off guard up here in Morgantown this morning, that's for sure.
Yeah, sounds very much like it, and it may have caught Goldberg off guard, so it kind of sounds like it. But that's, we had parts of the letter, the key parts of the letter in our story, and then the comments from David Ramsey. We'll also put some comments in there some quotes in there from folks reacting like Tom Bloom to Goldberg.
The more tactical side of me, and this is a pure opinion, there's competition.
Sure.
In this state. If I wanted to know what my competition thought, how they were going to do things, Goldberg might be a valuable commodity to my operation.
So you think WVU Medicine may hire him?
I mean, I don't know. That's the way I play the game.
Well, I look at it too. This, and again, I'm not in the board meet. We're not in the executive sessions of the boards that meet on this. But Mon Health knew 4 years ago. I mean, they see WVU Medicine growing by leaps and bounds.
Mm-hmm.
They join with CAMC, and then there's this race, right? This arms race.
Yeah.
And both of them start gathering up these hospitals. That's just kind of what has happened, And Dave, you would know this better than us, but the Mon Health WVU, although less than a mile apart. The
Jeff,
competition between them and the rivalry between them continues.
Several years back, this was pre-Goldberg.
Yeah.
Mon Health painted its ambulances green. There was a reason they chose green in Morgantown, Jeff. If there's anything that showed the rivalry, green ambulances, there was a reason for that. Now, that was pre-Goldberg.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, but yes, there was. They got along. And quite frankly, David Goldberg had played a large role in that, Jeff, was WVU Medicine and Mon Health at least being amenable to each other.
Sure.
And they would get along for the better of the community, but there was definitely a rivalry there, no doubt.
Well, and it's tough these days of healthcare to kind of go on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So you're helped by these, and to go on your own as a hospital. I mean, these systems, there's an advantage of going into these systems.
Yeah.
So
the other side of what I was saying, though, and look, the people at CAMC are smart. If they gave him a buyout, none of my business if they did or not. It came with a non-compete, and they ensured that their competition could not go after him. Just the nuts and bolts of it, kind of fascinating.
That's the non-compete with TJ also signed here.
My problem is no one else would want me.
Oh, okay.
That's my problem.
Okay, all right.
Hey, I got 2 words for you if I'm Goldberg. Warmer climate.
Warmer climate.
Hey, buddy. They got hospitals in Arizona, too. I'm just saying. All right. You can read Jeff's story over at the website, wvmetronews.com, with comments included in there as well. Jeff, always great work, buddy. Appreciate it.
Okay. See you, man.
We'll get some more texts coming up. 304-TALK-304. That is the text line. You can also give us a call at 800-765-8255. A little bit better weather today. Sort of kind of feeling like boating weather, but not quite yet. But you still have time to get ready before the weather breaks, and it's time to spend your weekends on the lakes and rivers. So check out all of the great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out the inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
Golf Week called Pete Dye Golf Club one of America's best modern courses. Golf Digest recently called Pete Dye one of America's 100 greatest courses, and Pete Dye calls it 18 of the most exciting and memorable holes I've ever built on one course. Pete Dye Golf Club invites you to join the only course named after the legendary designer himself. National, corporate, and local memberships available now for a limited time. Visit PeteDye.com to learn more. Come play where the Mountaineers play at Pete Dye Golf Club.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
With Metro News Hotline. If it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304 Talk. 304 is the text line, and 800-765-8255 is the phone number. Northern Outpost. Hey, Bill.
Hey, guys. First, thou shalt not speak ill of previous radio talk show hosts. Thou shalt not do that. Today's program, okay, you can't predict the events of the day that lead to the format of today's program. So let's look and see how you went from 10 o'clock till now. You had less than respectful political ads and commentary on them. Then you had drones in my backyard, enemy drones in my backyard. Then the integrity of the Marshall AD, a real-time human interest story, and the TSA debacle, and the David Goldberg story that's still unfolding. All those things together, in my opinion, have set the bar of your programming format between now in the primary season what you will consider as good radio and what you'll consider is honest comments about what shows up on the previous day's activities, whatever it is, whoever brings them to you. I think this is one of those programs you should kind of put in your archives for a little bit and just go through the course of today's format and understand how all this melds together for your next 2 months of programming format. My opinion.
All right, Bill. I think is that a compliment, Bill?
You can put that in a thin file if you want to, or you can put it in file 13. I don't care.
Either way.
But understand what you've done today, and you won't appreciate it for a couple of days down the road, but that's what happened today on the radio.
Hey, Bill, we always appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for listening in.
Take care.
You too. 304 Talk. 304. What's that?
That makes it worth it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I wasn't sure where Bill was headed there. Well, you just got to let him get to the point. 304 Talk 304. I was like, either he's going to give us a compliment or we're in trouble. I'm not sure which way we're headed yet. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. President Trump wanted to. He could pay those TSA workers. He has discretionary money. He likes this fight, too. You say you don't believe anything coming out of Iran. How can you believe anything coming out from Trump? He's a pathological liar. In the agreement, the U.S. wants to control the Strait of Hormuz. Would you agree to that if you were Iran? What's the alternative? Iran? Just say the U.S. and Iran are not coming at these negotiations on equal footing. Let's be blatantly honest about that. 304 Talk 304. I love this morning's commentary. When TJ doesn't really believe in something and is just pushing the Republican narrative, his voice gets really low and soft, like he's trying to get to the next base with a girl. Really, it's okay, says the texter.
I'll have to go back and listen. Did I sound different today?
Not any different than usual that I'm aware of.
I'll have to go back and consult the tape.
Let me see. 304 Talk 304. I listened to this ad. It's a lie and the lowest form of politics, in my opinion. The reader, Paula, is absolutely guilty of participating in the lies. She knows very well that her imaginary indignities are fiction. This is the lowest form of politics and propaganda. Shame, says the texter. 304 Talk 304. Sorry, but I don't foresee honesty in politics improving anytime soon, especially with a president who has such a casual relationship with the truth. I was questioning whether Iran was the one actually telling the truth earlier this week regarding negotiations, says the texter. Guys, 6 women mud wrestled with John Candy in the movie Stripes, and they won. Check it out. Well, you are correct.
Where'd that come from?
You are correct. I do believe they won. But you'll have to watch the movie for yourself. Stripes, one of the classics.
It doesn't seem like one I should sit down, though, and watch with the kids. So
Well, probably not at this point, TJ. One day. Maybe, but not today. All right, we'll wrap things up. Tell you what's coming up on tomorrow's show when we return. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Golf Week called Pete Dye Golf Club one of America's best modern courses. Golf Digest recently called Pete Dye one of America's 100 greatest courses, and Pete Dye calls it 18 of the most exciting and memorable holes I've ever built on one course. Pete Dye Golf Club invites you to join the only course named after the legendary designer himself. National, corporate, and local memberships available now for a limited time. Visit PeteDye.com to learn more. Come play where the Mountaineers play at Pete Dye Golf Club.
Looking for a career that truly matters? Healthcare offers stability, great benefits, and careers that are in demand right now. From patient care to technology and support roles, healthcare careers offer flexibility and opportunity. Not sure where you fit? Take the quick healthcare career quiz at explorehealthcareerswv.com. Discover the path that's right for you. Healthcare careers. where passion meets purpose.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Experience Keno in a new way with Dragon Keno Blast. This $10 scratch-off is available in-store and online with iPlay, the official West Virginia Lottery app. Play Dragon Keno Blast today for your chance to win no matter where you play. The Dragon slays. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Texter says removing David Goldberg from Vandalia North is a big mistake. Let me see. Any other text need to get to here? 304 Talk, 304 the text line. Just scrolling through, see if there's any I missed. All right, I think we're good. I understand the struggle is real, by the way, with text to talk. The struggle is real. I sympathize with that.
I do too.
Or do I empathize? Do I empathize or do I sympathize?
Maybe you do both.
Let's go for that. We both empathize and sympathize. About that.
I also empathize and sympathize with us having to use the text system. We're reading something and someone texts in and boom, poof, gone.
It disappears.
It disappears.
Because they're great listeners. They want to be part of the program. And then they send a new text and it jumps and we can't find it again.
Yeah.
If you have a child who is a junior in West Virginia, listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline to apply is May 3rd. Go to WVMetroNews.com to apply. That's WVMetroNews.com. The application deadline, again, is May 3rd. We'll talk to U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito. She's scheduled to join us tomorrow. We'll get the latest from Senator Capito on the DHS shutdown, operations in Iran, and the confirmation of the new DHS secretary as well. That's all coming up tomorrow. For TJ, Zach, and Ethan, I'm Dave. We'll talk to you tomorrow. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.